This is One on One with Jasper Cole, Hollywood's bad guy, and so much more. Actor, talent manager, producer, and more. Now he's sitting down with today's top newsmakers from entertainment, politics, pop culture, and beyond. This is One on One with Jasper Cole.
Woohoo! All right. Howdy, 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 and welcome to One on One with J. Cole, Mr. Jasper Cole. Here we are. It's another week. It's another show. We are coming to you live from Sunset Gower Studios right here in Hollywood, California. And let me give a shout out to my producer extraordinaire, Mr. John Williams. Hey, buddy.
Mr. Jasper.
We're back.
We are.
Same time, same place.
Yes.
How was your week?
It's been good. How about yours?
Good. It was
Yeah?
busy. I'm excited. I just booked a TV gig. I'm going to be doing a spot on Fox's Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Yay! Yes.
That's great.
I'm playing the Oolong Slayer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, bad guy.
Okay.
Not sure what Oolong Slayer means.
I was like, okay.
It's the name of the episode.
All right. Well,
So,
that's a good thing.
You know, my character's in the title of the episode.
Well, that's really
Yeah,
good.
so I start that tomorrow. But anyway, I wanted to talk. Did you watch the Republican debates?
I saw bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was sort of like watching
It's a
Saturday Night Live.
circus.
Really?
Yeah.
I-
Dun, 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 dun.
I TiVo'd both the little children's the kids table first one, the first group,
Uh-huh.
and then I watched the second one. But apparently, you know, I didn't get to see live. Carly Fiorina just apparently mopped the floor in the first one,
Nah.
which people were, I think, were surprised
Yeah.
because she had been polling pretty low and wasn't like a favorite, but apparently she came in really, really strong, which is exciting. But then we got over to the Donald Trump one, which was frightening because,
Yeah.
you know, but I saw today his polls, he's polling higher than ever. I don't think it really mattered. Apparently, it's just like there's a certain group of Republicans that are just loving his brashness and his,
Mhm.
you know, veracity or whatever. But it's so funny. He has no policy behind it. He doesn't know what he's going to do. He keeps saying, we're going to build a wall and then what? And we're going to, you know, we're going to make the economy better. How?
Yeah.
But are you amazed how many people are? I mean, I thought by now his numbers would start slipping down. But
Mhm.
if any of you, you know, call in, right? Give the number out. Yeah, give the number.
Yeah, the phone number, 323-843-2826.
If any of you, or if you haven't, you know, voted in these polls, or if you're a Donald Trump fan, I'd love to hear just what is it about him that at this point you haven't realized he's batshit crazy. Because, right? I mean, the other thing I heard today is he's basically spent no money doing this on his campaign.
Oh,
It's
really?
just been all free publicity from the media and his celebrity and whatever. So yeah. Anyway, that was the highlight of my week last week. I don't think a lot of people. And then of course how he went after Megyn Kelly.
I know.
You know, but I don't know. I'm not a Trump fan, but I listened back to what he said, and you know, he could have very well meant out of the eyes, out of the nose. I think it's because he took that pause and the way he said it was kind of, you know, like whatever.
Well, the whole dispute with Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, well,
back
this
and
is how
forth.
he said afterwards about Megyn Kelly was bleeding out of her eyes, out of her nose, out of her whatever, and a lot of people felt he was intimating that it was her menstrual cycle, and maybe that's why she was so rude or bit. I don't know why he thought how she was rude to him. She was basically asking him questions.
Yeah.
It's like, really, Donald? But he is so nasty to women. He's nasty to everybody.
Yeah.
Can you imagine him at like some foreign meeting with some dignitary from a country? Fuck you.
I guess that's what people have to keep
Sit
in mind if
down,
they want.
you know.
I mean, do they really want this man to
Do
be
they
their
want that kind
president
of person?
representing the country?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before I forget, please
Yeah.
follow the show on Twitter. We're getting more Twitter followers.
great.
It's exciting. So it's
Mhm.
one-on-one J. Cole,
Mhm.
and Facebook, one-on-one with Jasper Cole, and our website, jaspercole.com.
Mhm.
Now, JW, as everyone knows, and if you didn't know, is an incredible singer himself.
Oh, thank you.
And that's why I'm excited about today's guest,
Yeah.
Susan Toney,
Yeah.
songwriter, singer, producer. She's an amazing singer, and she's got a big hit single out called Missing Me,
Mhm.
coming off of her album Love is the Cure. And this is her second top 40 hit on Billboard, so she's going to be here. to talk about her journey. She's a native LA girl, which you never meet.
Right.
Right? Everybody comes here from somewhere else. So
Yeah, and it's funny because her style is very infused with country.
Very.
And
I read where she actually left LA and went to Nashville.
Oh, yeah, there
so
you go.
I want to hear that whole
Yeah.
journey and what it's like, growing up in a city like LA, and yet you want to do that kind of music.
Yeah.
So it's probably, well, I guess it's like a lot of us. We didn't grow up in LA and we left our towns and came to LA. So, even Ralph, my co-host on the other show,
Yeah. Love
he
Ralph.
he was an LA native, and then he went to New York for 20 years. So when I think about it, I guess it kind of makes sense, right? That
Yeah.
you always want to leave kind of where you grew up.
Mhm.
So yeah. And then lastly, I just want to talk about, the 1-year anniversary of the Ferguson killing, and it's just the whole thing that's been going on again with the riots. And I've got friends in St. Louis, and again, everyone, there's a way to protest peacefully. There was
Has it really been a year?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I mean, there was another shooting of a protester by a
Yeah.
cop the other night. So I know, right? That tells you how fast time is going
It
when
really
we
is
see these kind of
flying
things.
by.
So
Yeah.
anyway, just remember, be peaceful, whatever you're doing. And why don't we take our first break?
Okay.
And when we come back, we're going to bring in the very talented Susan Toney. And we're going to hear, as we go to break, we're going to hear 2 of her songs, I think.
Well, actually, we're going to play a video.
We're going to play a
first.
video.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And she'll tell us where we can get her music and all that when she gets in here. So you're listening to One-on-One with Jasper Cole, and we'll be right back.
Deep inside this green box, where all the secrets hide, my heart and soul are strong and whole from all the tears I've cried. I'm letting go of worry, surrendering my fear, releasing everything trapped inside of here. So here's your lonely, here's your empty. You won't find me, I will be gone before you know you're missing me, missing me, you're missing me, missing me. You gave me some money to help me live my life, but you expected silence that I just kindly not remind you, to say it never happened. My pain's some made-up thing, some strange hallucination I invented to be me. So here's your lonely, here's your empty. You won't find me, I will be gone before you know you're missing me, missing me, you're missing me, missing me. Truth is sometimes costly, but it's always worth the price. In the long run, it's much cheaper than all the secrets and all the lies. Now I must go my own way, it's long been overdue. I found the key to all the locks that shackled me to you. So here's your lonely, here's your empty.
You're back one-on-one with Jasper Cole.
Woohoo, all right. Welcome back to One-on-One with Jasper Cole. And I can't believe we're already here. It's been a week, JW, since we were here, and we are back. Now, as I mentioned in the opening, we're very honored to have a very accomplished singer and songwriter with us. So please welcome our distinguished guest today, Miss Susan Toney. Hi, my dear. How are you? Nice to meet you. We found out we've had the same publicist for years, Dominic's also a producer on the show. So
Yes,
shout
that's
out
what
to
I- that's what I
Dominic
heard.
Friesen.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dominic.
So welcome. We were just playing, JW, which song were we playing during the...
We were playing "Missing Me."
That is
the
your
remix.
Your new hit.
That is my new hit.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So there's so much. I'm fascinated by your whole story in general, but I love the fact I'm always fascinated when someone grows up in L.A. and then goes off to Nashville or whatever. Because first of all, you have a very your music to me has a very Bonnie Raitt feel to it.
I love Bonnie.
I didn't know.
She's
I
one of
thought-
my influences.
I thought
sure.
she might be. I was going to
Uh-huh.
ask you, but yeah, I'm always fascinated because for most of us, we leave somewhere else and come to LA, especially for acting, and I guess for pop music or whatever.
Well, I was born in Norman.
Oh,
Norman, Oklahoma. Then we lived all kinds of places over the United States, and then I came
Then
here.
you came here. What age did you actually?
I came here like in the mid 80s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you weren't born here.
No, I wasn't.
Well,
born
strike
here.
that then.
Well, it's
So
So
interesting
much for
because
the research department.
Well, her
Kidding.
bio says hailing from Los Angeles. So
Well, that's because
Well, I get it.
lived in LA.
You were
I
here.
see.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
lived in LA.
Were
yeah.
you an army kid or
No,
military?
my dad was a corporate attorney
Oh.
and just brilliant. And I
Right.
just kept getting offered these amazing
Different jobs around the
Yeah,
country.
and he would say, "Okay, I think we're going here, Jan."
But
he'd
that
say to
gave
my
you a
mother.
nice feel of all the different types of people
I
across
loved
the country.
it. I got a very early. I mean, before I went to before we moved to New York, and I was in the first grade.
Wow.
I'd already lived 5 or 6 places, and I loved moving because it gave me an awareness
Mhm.
that people are the same.
Right.
They're not different.
Right.
They are. We all want the same thing, and we all need the same thing.
And you got that at an early age.
yeah, and it's just different sports teams, different colloquialisms,
Right.
different
Different foods,
things, different
different
foods.
accents.
A little culture mixed in different
Yeah.
places, but really,
We're basically the
we're
same.
one and the same.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
it's not too hard.
were you musically inclined from the beginning? I mean,
I
you
wa-
came out
I-
ready to sing.
I
and-
was. It just
right.
was like automatic.
And you
just
play the guitar.
play the guitar
it-
and the
uh,
keyboard.
and the keyboard.
keyboard,
And
uh-huh.
is that something you had an innate talent for?
I
Looking
had-
back,
I had an innate talent for writing and
Mm.
for singing and for playing instruments. And then I studied, I was always in the
right,
choir and I
right.
studied
You
growing
layered
up.
it on with.
I taught guitar
Right.
in high school, and then I studied music in college as well as film and television.
Wow.
So,
We were just mentioning before. Susan had mentioned that she had worked many times behind the camera.
yes.
But you had that desire, or you had that talent as well. But you were still doing the music.
Right. I was
pursuing the
still
music.
I was pursuing the music and working at the different stations and studios in
What a
town
great
here.
day job,
literally.
though. You know,
oh,
it
really,
beats
it was fun.
waitressing or
Absol-
temping or whatever.
Absolutely wonderful. Yeah.
So when you started in the music scene, in the 80s, I guess, or
Well, like probably I started in the 90s.
in the
yeah,
90s, more in the 90s,
uh-huh.
you took yourself and went to Nashville, or had you sort of cultivated your career a little bit here?
Well, here I was performing a lot, and
Okay.
a lot of companies were interested in me, and I got offered quite a few deals and quite a few publishing deals, but everybody wanted everything. And then in
Right.
Nashville, they offered me a deal. They were, but they wanted everything, and I just wasn't
Tell
going to
everyone
give
what you
all
mean
my.
by that. Where
I
you're
wa- I
signing
didn't
away
wanna-
publishing rights.
Where you're
and,
signing away publishing rights and in perpetuity
where the
things
money
like
is,
that. So
people
I didn't
in the
want to do
writing.
that.
in other
Yeah.
words, selling your soul, right?
Yeah,
In the industry.
and I mean Bob Marcucci, we've all heard of
Mhm,
him. Very
mhm.
famous. He signed me as a manager, and lots of wonderful people. But I just wasn't. I just felt like I should hold out.
right.
Mhm.
Hold
You
out.
trusted your instincts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So you go back. We were talking about musical influences. So you mentioned Bonnie Raitt, because your music is. How would you describe your music? It's a
Well, it's pop country blues rock.
right.
And I mean,
Sheryl
when I
Crow
grew
also.
when I grew up, yeah, Sheryl Crow,
Yeah.
all of that stuff. and then a little bit of country in there because see, my dad loved country music, so he was always listening to country music, and I was
And we're
listening to
talking
the
like
greats.
old school country,
We're
like
talking about
Conway
that-
Twitty
We're
and
talking about like
Johnny
George
Cash
Strait
and George
Johnny
Strait.
Cash, yeah, Patsy
Tammy
Cline,
Wynette,
all that
yeah.
stuff. The
I'm
good
from
stuff.
Georgia, so
The good stuff.
I'm from the South, so I grew up with the
the
country
good
music.
stuff.
Yeah, Loretta
and
Lynn.
then my mom was listening to pop music.
Okay.
And so I'm like singing to the Supremes, and I'm singing to everybody
Wow.
else in the 60s and 70s, and then just my grandparents were classical music.
Oh, look at that. So
And
you
my
had like a whole
grandfather
thing.
on my dad's side was a cowboy, had a dairy farm,
Wow.
and was a country, lead country singer in a band.
Oh my
So
goodness.
it just was all
It was in your
all
blood.
around me. Yeah.
But you found eventually you sort of gravitated toward the pop country bluegrass sort
Yeah.
of rock.
Right. And my
Yeah.
great grandmother, she was full-blooded Cherokee.
Oh, I'm
And-
a quarter.
And I saw
can
the,
see-
the
I can see
nose,
that
yes,
in
I
the
can see it,
cheekbones, yeah.
yes. And I understand that she could play any instrument that she picked up. She had a beautiful voice, and children adored her.
Did you get to? Did you
I
know
never,
her?
no,
Yeah.
I never got to meet her. She was my great grandmother.
It sounds like you may have really inherited a lot of
I
her.
think I did.
Interesting,
yeah, I think
right?
I did. Looks
Because
and
they say it
everything.
can skip generations
Yeah,
too. You know.
I think I got
yeah.
a lot of that.
Well, when you look back on that time period, when you mentioned having the manager, was getting Bob right, or getting the manager, was that a big break for you at the time?
Well,
Or is
Bob,
it a series
Bob
of
Marcucci, that
breaks?
was very interesting because he said, "Go see Star Maker before you sign with me," and so I went to see Star Maker, and I'll be very quite honest. I thought, I don't know if I want somebody to beat me up this much.
Right.
He was a little rough on
was
his
a rougher.
artists, so I didn't sign with him.
Right.
We remained very dear friends, but I signed with Joanne Barry this year. I mean, actually in 2014, Joanne Barry. The Mandrell sisters,
Right.
Sarah Evans, Randy Travis,
Wow.
so I'm working with
That's
her
fantastic.
now, and with Jim Halsey.
Some great artists.
Jim Halsey, who's Oak Ridge Boys
Right,
and Roy
right.
Clark, so he's my consultant, and then she's
my
my
goodness.
manager. So we've got some great people working
So
with me.
have
Jackie
you been,
Monahan in Nashville,
Oh,
and
my
then
goodness.
publicist, and then Dominic. So
and Dominic?
yeah.
Do you maintain a place in Nashville? Or
no,
you
no,
just
I don't.
go back and
I'm just not rich enough to do that.
not yet. Not yet.
But she has her own label, right?
Right. So I want
I
to.
do.
Yeah, Strange Child Records.
I do. I have
is
my
your-
own independent label.
Now, isn't that sort of what's happening now? I mean, the music industry has changed so much. We can talk about that with downloads and iTunes
Sure.
and everything. I don't. It's back in the day. The idea was you played, you put your music out there, and you would get a deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But all that's changed.
Right. Well, they made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
When Philips and Sony said, "Don't you want to keep the copyright to being able to make a CD?" And they said, "No, we'll make every unit we sell will make this much money." So what happened was they gave away their creative. They gave away
Interesting.
the creative hold on
Right.
things. But what it's done for us, this all always about current times, your show, which I love, and current events. What I love is that it gives independent artists a chance to be everywhere,
To be everywhere.
without a label,
Right.
and
own their
and
talent.
own your talent. And I have to say a shout out to Taylor Swift and to thank her, because every time she does a show, she plays a Trail of Light and Dark, which was my most recent single that was a hit on Billboard.
Yes.
And
We
she
have the
loves
video
my
for
music,
that.
so I have to thank her for that. And but I also want to thank her too for standing up to Apple Music and say, "No,
She did.
we're not going to do that unless you
She's
pay
one
the
of the
artist."
few artists who's actually
and
been out
so
there.
therefore, we're blessed by that, because we're going to be
Right.
paid. Because
She's
I'm
an amazing
I'm
talent,
for all of
isn't
those
she?
rights. I like her. She's very moral. She's
Yeah.
very good. She's very talented. I
Yeah,
like her so
she's
much.
very centered and
Yeah.
What do you think about the
I like
direction
her.
she's going now with more pop versus
Well,
country?
Well, you know what? I just have to say this, that when people ask me, "Susan, what are you, a country artist or a pop artist?" I think I'm a pop artist,
Uh-huh.
and the reason is because I want to touch everybody.
Right.
Sure.
And I got reviewed by Dan Haar on Music News Nashville, and he said, this album speaks to everybody, and it's like I want to reach everybody,
Right,
because
right.
I want to. As an actress and as a singer, as a writer. Getting ready to write a book, I want to be able to touch everybody,
Right.
because
Yeah.
just that simple message of you're valuable, You're loved.
Mhm.
Don't give up.
Mm-hmm.
Be the best you can be. If you're going through a rough spot, trust God.
Trust God.
You know, just lay it down, trust God, and love and forgive each other.
Right.
And work
Yeah.
together. We have a great country. You know,
Right.
we need to work together. We don't
Exactly.
need to beat each other up.
We're in such a turmoil right now in the
Yeah.
country. We mentioned the Ferguson right now in
Right.
Missouri, and
Right.
in many ways, we had Donzale Abernathy
Oh,
on, you know, and
okay.
we talked
Right.
about civil rights and
Right.
4 steps forward and 20 back, and you
Yeah.
know, music has always been sort of a sign of the times. It's always reflected what's happening in America at the time.
Right.
So I was going to ask you, when you write, and I know every artist is different, what is your I don't like the word what is your process? That's so cliche, but you know, like how does it work for you when you're going to write a song?
Well, I'll give you a little example.
Yeah.
You know, in The Karate Kid, everybody's seen that
right,
movie.
right,
Fantastic.
right.
You know, the little kid he's teaching. Well, he teaches the kid he says, go wax my car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it is like Picasso. He had his students draw
Mhm.
circles,
Right.
circles on these treetop tables out on the cafe on the
Right,
street. You know,
right.
they'd be drawing these treetop. On top of these, they'd be drawing circles, and it's the same thing. The more you write, the better your editing gets.
Right.
And then you start saying things that are true.
Mm-hmm.
You just start saying things that are true and honest and mean something. And it's just, you have to get past your head
Right.
and into
Get
the
out
truth.
of your head.
Yeah, and get into the truth. Just
Right.
let yourself speak. But you need to speak, you need experience and wisdom.
Right. That's why I
So-
believe it's the one blessing of getting older in life is wisdom comes, but I think as a songwriter or as an artist, you just keep getting better and better because
Right.
you're writing about life. And that's why someone like Taylor or some of the young artists, you know, their lyrics reflect boyfriends and whatever they're going through.
Sure.
But I think as you get older, that's why I'm always drawn to more of the seasoned songwriters that have got something to say. Not that the other kids don't, but it's just more profound a little bit,
Yeah,
I think.
I think so.
Yeah. So so Missing Me, your new hit single.
Yes. Uh-huh.
What was the influence of this song, if there was one particular
Well,
thing?
Missing Me is about it's you know, as I was speaking earlier, forgive and love and move forward and you know, learn how to be an appropriate, respectful adult
Right.
who's contributing,
Right.
who takes something everywhere they go and leaves something behind instead of going everywhere and taking something
Taking.
or going places and not respecting. And so Missing Me remix is based on the song Missing Me, and it is it's about saying no.
Mhm.
It's about knowing that it's okay to say no. It's
Right.
okay to say you can't do that. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, I'll forgive you. You know, we'll work things out. We'll talk about this. We'll go through that process. But if we can't start from a place of love and respect, then it won't work.
There's nowhere to start.
There's no place to go.
Right.
So that's kind of about, you know, don't let the screen door hit you on the way out.
Yeah.
You know, that's
yeah,
kind of,
I like
it's,
that.
but in a much deeper way.
Mhm.
You know, and in a way that I think everybody's been hurt by somebody.
Right.
Everybody's been betrayed by somebody.
Even just in jobs or whatever.
Sure.
You know, family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, were you opening acts in the day? Did you open for people back?
I did.
Any great stories about
Well,
I-
you know,
I-
I played down at the Coach House a lot. I was
Oh,
called all the
yeah.
time to open for people, and you know, it's just a great
Did
thing
you
to do.
have you been to the Grand Ole Opry?
I
Yeah.
have seen it,
I mean,
but
yeah,
I've seen
yeah.
it. It's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because I grew up in Athens near Atlanta, but
Mhm.
Nashville is still a city I've never been to.
Oh, you have to go.
I'm
You'll love
amazed,
it.
and I have some
You'll
friends who
love it.
live there.
Yeah.
And
you'll
is
love
it true? I mean, people say it's the way LA kind of is about TV and film. There's a part of Nashville that is truly country music.
It's you know, Nashville's becoming more than just country
Right.
music, and it's been doing that for several
over
years.
the last years.
Yeah, over the last few years, 6 years, and so it is kind of a music. It's
So-
definitely a music city,
Yeah, especially in the main hub, right?
right? Like I did the country radio seminar last
Right.
year. I was one of the featured artists on several shows, and played at South by Southwest.
Have
and
you
all those
taught
things. I taught
songwriting?
I used to teach guitar
Okay.
in high school before I went to college, but actually, when I went to UCLA and I studied with a couple people, I studied with the folks that used to write for for Earth, Wind and Fire.
Oh,
And
I know Verdine.
and I was offered a job at UCLA to teach songwriting, but I had so many things going on. But I would have loved
you
it.
couldn't fit it into
Yeah,
your...
I would have loved it. I'm a good teacher.
Right. I could sense
I'm a really
that
good
you're probably
teacher.
very patient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Do you feel, because I'm not a singer at all, and I've always felt, do you feel you're either born with it or not? You have the talent and then you can get better? Because JW is an amazing singer. He's very modest.
Oh, look. Look.
He's like a large African-American soul singer.
I love it.
In
That's
there.
great.
So I'm always
wonderful.
I'm always fascinated by people who just are born with it. And I guess you can get better with learning and technique.
I think you're born with a gift.
Right, I do too.
I think in all honesty, and same with writing.
Right.
I think Mozart's protege hated him because he said, "I'll never, no matter how hard I study, no matter how hard I work, I'll never be as good as you." And Mozart said, "Well, so what? You're very good. Why are you complaining?" But yeah, I think you're gifted.
You're gifted.
Yeah, you're gifted, and then you must work on your craft.
Right.
You have to.
You have to keep
can't
the voice.
You can't buy a guitar, record a CD, and you're there. That's impossible.
Right.
Years.
Well, so
Takes years.
tell everyone, first of all, where can we find... You have your website, SusanToney.com.
My website, SusanToney.com.
Toney. And they can download and buy your music there as well?
Well, you can... My website's being redone right now,
Okay.
but go to... just type my name in on iTunes.
Yeah.
Or Amazon. I'm on everything.
All
Spotify,
the Spotify and all that
Pandora,
stuff.
everything.
Yeah.
If you want to find it anywhere in the world, you'll find it.
Are you doing any live performances coming up anywhere?
Right now, not.
Okay.
But soon.
Okay.
Yeah, soon.
Okay. JW, can we play
Yeah,
her?
I have
Can we
the
take
other
a break
video.
and
Sure.
play the other video? And then we'll come back and I want
Yeah.
to be able to show your
thank
the other
you.
video.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Okay. We're going to take a break, listen to and watch. This is which is the song we're going to hear?
This one is the one she was talking about that Taylor loves.
Oh.
Oh, Trail of Light and Dark.
Trail of
That's
Light-
it.
yeah.
Trail of Light
Trail
and
of Light and
Darkness.
Dark.
And we are going to come right back and continue with Susan Toney. You're listening to One on One with Jasper Cole.
Come back here again so selfishly for the last piece of my heart. Not so foolishly, carelessly take part. Now I watch my hope die and my soul cry. Well, how much do you need? Then I remember your photographs. You like to watch them bleed. Baby, the trail of light, dark you see, it's just the trace of light. And death you leave, baby, the trail of light, dark you see, it's just the trace of light, and death you leave. Ooh. You got a 4x4 box, you're staring straight at me. No matter how fast you pull that shutter, your lens never capture me, because you'll try to slip by. As soon as I believe, I still remember the way you laughed. I was on my knees, baby, the trail of light.
You're back one-on-one with Jasper Cole.
Woohoo, all right. Welcome back again. Here we are with the lovely, talented Miss Susan Toney, Toney, and that's .com if you want to look up her website. It's very easy altogether. So we were just chatting off camera a little bit about, because we've told her that she reminds us of a younger Lily Tomlin.
Yes, she
And
sure does.
we talked about an acting,
That's quite a compliment.
some
Yeah,
interest
I
in
love her.
acting. She has the face for for film. She should
Mhm.
be in acting. So good. I mean, that's great because it's a natural.
Yeah, I studied in
progression,
college.
you know?
I studied in college.
Yeah.
And I've done a little work in the last couple of years. Kimberly Jensen, I worked with her.
Right,
She's fantastic
right.
here in town. And, I want to start doing 1 to 5 lines and, go on some
I love
television
that.
shows and get a
Well,
part and
music videos that you've done, that's acting.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely. Yeah.
and I mentioned commercials, because so
Right.
much of commercials really don't have dialogue a lot of
Right.
times anyway. It's all about a look or an
Your
expression
Yeah,
or
your
whatever. So,
expression, right.
I mean, I guess again, being around the business and growing up around it, but you're so stunningly beautiful.
Oh,
So
thank you.
I'm sure
That's quite a compliment.
you should be in front of the camera. So
thank
let's
you.
keep our fingers crossed for that,
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
Yeah. So I want to talk about, you started the Strange Style Records. So do you have other artists, or is this just
No,
this
it's
is a way for you to
it's
get
just me.
your music out there,
I'm
right?
not rich enough yet.
No, we keep saying yet, right? We keep saying yet. But it's what we kind of alluded to earlier. It's a way for you to produce your music and put it out there.
Right.
And there are a lot of even big name people now, and this is where I'm having a senior moment. What is he's married to Lisa Hartman? Oh my God, it's not Garth Brooks. This is really embarrassing. Wears the hat. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I'll find out
Oh
for you.
my God. Anyway, he
Google
was.
it.
I will.
Wow,
I
he
can-
would-
Okay, audience, call
And I
in.
actually went to see him in concert in Thousand Oaks a few years ago. That's
Clint Black.
Clint Black.
There we go.
Yeah.
Clint Black was one of
Yeah.
the first, because I have some friends that are friends with Lisa.
Mhm.
And I remember this was about 6, 7, 8 years ago. And he was sort of, at the time, he left a label, I think, and started his own
Mhm.
label. So, and I remember that was kind of scary for him,
Yeah.
that.
Right.
And even Dolly Parton, right?
Yes.
I've heard her interviewed that you would think someone at her statue, no pun
Right.
intended,
Right.
that she's
She's so beautiful.
so talented
God.
that she
No
does.
one else could wear that
No.
the way she does. Oh my goodness.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if it's all just an illusion?
We got to get you with
You know.
with Dolly because it's
Oh,
like
I love
Dolly and
Dolly.
Lily back together.
Wow. I love
Yeah,
Dolly
that
Parton.
would be great. But even she has her own label, and
Yes.
and so
Mhm.
it's just again back to what we talked about with music now being on download. Do you feel like though the downside of that is the piracy and losing the money, and that people illegally get the music without paying
Well,
for it?
I just have to say that whoever thinks that art is free,
Right,
it's not. It's never been free.
right.
It's valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a statement about time that's passing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a gift to people.
Right.
It's a gift to our world. So, please, if you buy music. Don't copy somebody's CD and take
Mhm.
it home. Please buy the music so that the artists that you love
Good.
and the new artists that
Mhm.
you don't, that are coming up can afford to do that and can get their beautiful music out to everyone
Right,
to
right.
enjoy.
When you are putting like an album together, say like
Mhm.
Love Is the Cure,
Right.
do you start with sort of a concept in mind of what the album's going to be like, or what does that process work in when you're thinking of an album in terms of like how many songs will be
Right.
on an album? And
Well, I thought for Love Is a Cure, I thought of looking at the different types of relationships, and on multiple levels,
right,
and the theme of all relationships is really love is a
Mhm.
cure. I mean,
Mhm.
love. There is no relationship without a basis of love.
Right.
I mean, it goes south very quickly.
it starts out good.
Acquaintanceship, friendship,
Mhm.
love relationship, dating, marriage. I mean,
Mhm.
it doesn't work unless there's respect
right,
and love.
right,
And a lot of people think love, they think sex. Well, sex is not particularly love. It is
No.
an part of
Mhm.
a loving expression when you're in a committed relationship. But certainly love really is wanting the best for that other person,
Mhm.
and helping that person
being selfless.
become the best person.
Right.
Now you imagine if you have two people doing that, what a fantastic relationship they
Right.
have. It doesn't mean you don't have differences or
Right,
problems.
right.
Yeah.
But all problems and differences are easy to discuss and work
Mhm.
through if you're respectful and loving.
And with a
So-
good therapist.
therapist.
That can't hurt either.
A couple of cans of
Right,
Coca-Cola,
right. Well, so with
You know, friends. Have fun with your friends, right?
exactly.
That's
Well,
why I brought that in.
I love that. So when you go to put an album together, how, for instance, with this one, how long of a journey was this time-wise, would you say? Had you written a lot of the, I guess it's hard to answer the question. I would assume you write songs and you have your music, and then you look at what you have and it sort of you compile it.
Yeah, you pull things out,
Right.
and you're
And
always
some may
writing.
be older songs that you've had, and
Yeah,
it's
right.
not always I'm
There's
going to
no
write.
such thing as an old song.
That's good.
There's no such thing
Right.
as a song, and a song is king.
That's true,
If
and it
there's
lives
not
on
a good,
forever.
if there's not a good song, not a good lyric, not a good melody, forget
That's a
it.
good
Yeah.
good note for
Forget it.
singers and songwriters.
First lesson.
And it's such a gift to be a songwriter because it's taking all of those thoughts and putting them into a song, and it's condensing all of that into
Right.
a song and expressing it so powerfully. That's always been a challenge for me because I come up with all this stuff, but I don't know how to condense it all into small little words.
That's great, John. Let me tell you something that might help.
Okay.
Okay, imagine a room full of completely unrelated things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they're scattered all over the floor.
Sure.
Okay, songwriting is taking disconnected things that appear disconnected and finding the thread of truth.
Okay.
That's songwriting. So if you start thinking about it that way,
Yeah.
it might help you process things a little differently
Yeah.
and come up with a theme.
Yeah, because sometimes you read these memes, online on Facebook
Right.
or whatever. Like one I read in particular, some people will only love you as much as they can use you, and their loyalty ends where the benefits stop.
Oh,
Now,
right.
take that and put it into a song, and that's, because a lot of people are resonating with that for, it's sad, but it's true sometimes, and it's like, so then you could go on to whatever happened to loving the person unconditionally, and you talk about love as being a theme of your album. So writing a song about that, and touching on that. So I would be like overwhelmed with all the words and trying to put it all together but I agree with you. It's like find that thread that's the
Yeah.
common denominator.
Well, the thing about loving unconditionally is people that aren't giving you anything and are using you.
Yeah.
You can pray for them from the distance.
Bless their heart.
You can,
as we say.
bless their heart in
Right.
the South.
Right.
yeah.
You can pray for them from the distance.
Right.
You don't have
as
to
you
keep
stick
getting
pins
hurt.
in the voodoo doll
You don't have to
at
keep
the same
getting hurt.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. But I find that interesting because
That's cute, John.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's again, even like every songwriter has a different. You get blocks, right?
Yeah.
You get like writer's block. The way
Never.
you don't.
Never.
No, of
I
course.
just don't have enough time to write it
Right.
all.
Right. That's yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard singers say sometimes they'll just wake up with a thought in the morning and they roll over and they write everything down because
Yeah.
you never know what it's going to
Yeah.
lead to.
Well, exactly.
A melody or
Right.
a lyric, and
Right.
which comes first, the lyric or the melody, or vice
Mhm.
versa.
That's true.
Everyone's different,
It is.
And it's fascinating to me how someone can also just. I've heard Taylor, I think, talk about this on interviews where she can start with a phrase and then it just builds from there.
That's usually what I do. I'll get a first line.
Right.
And then
It's
that,
a hook,
That
right?
first line, well, the first line's not the hook, but the first line has to be substantially meaningful.
Got it.
And that is going to be that is like where you're pointing the ship.
Got it.
And so you get that. That's kind of the theme.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Right.
you've got to get the ship.
going.
And the phrases are, the chorus and the hook and everything support.
Right.
They hit home again, the
Right.
theme, and then each verse gives a little more explication about what the journey is in that particular song.
Yeah.
Wow. You mentioned you don't have a lot of time. Even if you're not actually writing, is it happening in your mind? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Your
Melodies and all that.
melodies is going on at all times. And then later you'll just pull from that and remember whatever sticks out and stays with you. That's fascinating.
And do you use
isn't
like
it?
a recorder and just like get it out while it's in that moment, like the inspiration strikes, so you just like boom, get it out?
Well, usually I'll just grab a guitar and
Mhm.
I'll sit down and I'll remember the melody, and then later I'll work on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how is it? Is it just as gratifying when you write a song for someone else, or say you've written songs that other artists like Taylor, other people do? Do you get the same? It's different. Do you get the same gratification is if when you're a song that you're actually singing yourself, or it's probably like your child that's being handed over to someone.
Well, Taylor doesn't do my song. I would love it if she
Right.
would cut my song, and please do.
We're putting
Taylor.
that out there.
But she loves.
Have you met her yet?
No, I've not
Oh,
yet.
well, we gotta-
But she
But she
loves.
loves your
she loves my work, and I
work.
really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Incredible. Yeah.
I'd love to write with her or
We're
write
putting
a song
that out
for
there
her.
now.
For sure.
But anyway, she's a sweetheart and great businesswoman.
Mhm.
But no, it's great. It's fantastic, and what a compliment that someone else wants to do your song. I love
Mhm.
either. I mean, I
Right.
love it if I sing my things, and I love it if
Right.
someone else wants to sing it.
Because there's this singer, what is it, Sia?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Like
Mhm.
a lot of people, I'm always fascinated too when an artist will come on that we think we've just discovered this person. They've been writing songs for other people
Yeah.
Right.
for years,
Yes,
right?
right.
And Kesha was the same way
Yeah.
Yes.
in the pop world,
Yes,
and
right.
and so, do you know who Linda Perry is?
Yes.
She had she had a reality show on E last year. It may come back, the
Yeah.
Linda Perry Project.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I was just fascinated watching
Okay.
that. I don't know if you saw it or if you remember. She took
I don't
on.
think I saw it.
It was sort of like a competition in the sense that singers would come on and they would whittle it down. But
Mm.
unlike
see.
unlike an American Idol, Linda would be a true mentor and
Mhm.
hands-on with what she's gone through business-wise.
Oh, fantastic.
From being in a group.
She was
Right.
tough.
Well,
Yeah.
she does
Yeah.
the play,
Oh,
yeah.
And I hope
definitely.
it comes back. Did you watch
Yeah,
it?
I did
John?
watch pieces of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds great.
So I learned a lot watching that, like
Yeah.
taking these young artists and explaining to
Right.
them it's not just about what you look like, it's not just about being able, it's the whole
Yeah.
package.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. And what I liked about Linda's project, they weren't your typical they didn't have to be beautiful or
Mhm.
pop princesses, They
Right.
all seemed to be writers that had a lot of depth
Right.
and soul
Mhm.
to
Right.
them. But someone like Linda, again, who's been through it, but she's such a prolific songwriter.
Mhm.
Right.
So she sort of left the singing part
Yeah.
on camera, on mic,
Yes.
and writes. And that's,
Uh-huh.
again, such a lucrative
Yeah.
industry, right?
Right. Right.
Megan
the-
Trainor's a recent one as well.
Uh-huh,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But in the little bit of time we have left, when you get into the publishing world of that, who polices that? Is that the BMI?
Well,
Is that
I'm with they're different licensing agencies, and
Right.
I'm happy to be with BMI.
Right,
Thank you,
right,
BMI,
right.
for being my
Yeah.
publisher, my licensing publisher. But there's ASCAP,
Right.
there's CSAC,
Right.
for territories outside the United States, and then across the world, there's
Right.
different publishing
licensing
companies.
companies?
Mhm.
But I'm with BMI.
Yeah. So, and I was watching one day, Leanne Rimes, for instance, she
Uh-huh.
had a 20-year record deal with who I think her father at the time signed her. Have you ever heard of that? 20.
Well,
It was
yeah,
like-
they do multiple albums, and of course when they used to do deals all the time,
Right.
when that was pretty much in essence what the business was about, they did long deals.
Okay.
Sometimes, Reba McEntire was with Mercury for a long time, and then she was, she left and went to a place she's very happy now. But,
Right. I'm sad to hear she's
Jim
divorcing.
Halsey worked with a lot of these different people.
Really?
He's told me
Yeah,
some great
he's got
stories.
some great stories.
He's so respectful,
Yeah.
and such a talent, and so good at mentoring
Mhm.
and guiding.
Mhm.
He's really a champion for mentoring
Right,
and guiding
which is
people.
important.
Yeah.
You're probably a really good mentor also
I think
for young artists.
it's very funny. One time I was just getting a hamburger at the casino in Tulsa, and I thought, well, I'll listen to the music tonight. And I'm outside and I'm waiting for my car to be, pulled back up from valet. And these cute black girls are sitting there, and they'd had a blast that
Right.
night, you could tell. And then I said, one of the black girls asked me something. I said something. She said, "Are you a life coach?"
Oh.
Well,
And it
it's
was so
interesting.
cute.
Yeah.
And
In
I
a
was
way,
like, well, I guess I
you
am.
write. You kind of write your
I
life
guess I
coaching,
am.
right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, we've been so honored to have Susan Toney here with us
Oh
today.
my gosh, the
Again,
honor's mine.
please check out her
Jasper.
website, SusanToney.com. Go to Spotify, all the sites. Just Google Susan Toney, and you'll see
iTunes, Amazon, everything. It's all there.
everything. She'll be on the
YouTube.
corner. No, I'm kidding. She'll be playing the guitar. But
YouTube.
what a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you for
Much
thank you for
continued
having
success.
me.
Good luck
I
with the
love
acting
your
career.
show.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so
Good luck with
much.
everything, and
Thank you.
we'll keep up with your success and your
All
progress.
Wonderful.
So listen, everyone, please, that's it. Remember to follow us on Twitter at @OneOnOneJCole, Facebook, and also jaspercole.com. And we've got exciting guests coming up next week. We like to always wait till the very last minute and tell you who it is. So we can't thank you enough for tuning in, and we will be here same time, same place next week. Peace out. Bye-bye.
Thanks for checking out One-on-One with Jasper Cole. Check out past episodes and get the latest as they're released. Subscribe today on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube.